Hi everyone. Okay, so I transplanted a bunch of plants last night, and these were all started from seed in the greenhouse, as were all of these. And if you saw my little short that I posted last night, you saw that these were all planted just before dark. And I did that because I didn't want them stressed out in the sun after I just disrupted roots. I didn't mean to disrupt roots, but I'd go to put them in there and then like the whole dirt ball would pop apart. Sorry, my kids found me. Okay, so anyways, you can see, so I didn't want them stressing in the sun while they were adjusting to their new environment because, you know, some plants can be picky. But yeah, I fluffed up all the dirt. I dug my hole, I put my plant in, and then I watered. And I watered enough to where it would last a couple days and I wouldn't have to do anything too much to it. I do have the itty bitty ones covered. I'm about to show you what I've been doing in the garden this year so far. And that's fencing. So this part of the fence before was this rabbit fence that my dogs could jump over, and they did. And if they didn't jump over, I had it stapled to this shed and they would bust through the little, like I had another T-post like that over there, and they still managed to bust through. So now I have legit T-posts that aren't going anywhere, and then I have this mesh in my attempt to keep mice out. I still haven't completely done underneath that shed yet. Okay, this fence was also not dog proof. It was also rabbit wire. It also had this black mesh, and the dogs jumped over it enough times that they completely destroyed this fence and literally broke that little cute T-post that's back there. So the previous owners had taken this gate off of one of the entrances, and I decided to repurpose it for this. So it is currently in with 2 T-posts. And then I took a scrap of wire. So now this thing is it's close to 5 feet. Like this is 5 feet and that's just shy of 5 feet. So this little section between these 2 sheds is secure. It's got the mesh. So I'm hoping it's, mouse proof. We had a problem with mice and squirrels last year. And rabbits. There were at least 8 mice. Oh no. I just found a problem with my shed that I didn't know was there. That's unfortunate. Okay, anyways. Mice, squirrels, all the above. Birds. So if you have a favorite bird deterrent, like spinners, let me know, because I really need to find one that's going to work in the desert for more than a year. This corner, also stapled to this shed. The dogs busted through it. Probably chasing a rabbit, honestly. My friend gave me T-posts. I used them. This fence is 6 feet tall. More mesh. Somebody on Marketplace had 15-foot rolls for $2 each, and I snagged up, I think, 10 rolls. It might have been $3 each, so I grabbed a bunch. This I got on an auction. I think I paid $1 for 50 feet of 1/4 inch. So you can, and I put it on with hog rings. That's what that little guy is, if it'll focus. And that goes all the way over here to this gate. Ooh, let's see if I can do this without falling. Okay. So it goes all the way over here to this gate. I got some brackets put on my little gates. And now it kind of holds the door up with that. I can't get the top one on because this T-post is just so, let's see if we can get it to focus. It's chewed up and I can't get it over that. So yeah, I cannot get the top grabber to go over the top of that T-post. I don't know why, I just can't. So anyways, this is all protected. You can see there's no gap there. I did, however, find a lizard stuck in the mesh down there when I went to put it in. We had to cut it out because it was stuck. My boys had a blast with it because, critters. But yeah, this goes all the way around. This is all fencing that I had up from last year, as is all of this fencing. But I did need to repair that corner back there, this section in the middle, and that section there. And then because of all the critters, there's traps and stuff in here. I know that we had a bad mouse problem here, so when I planted 60 sunflowers in here last year, not a single one sprouted. So now we have mesh baskets. Mesh baskets. Oh, I gotta remember to tell you about those. Basically, I have them on there because itty bitty little plants are much softer. The bigger the plants get, they're harder to chomp on, and they're definitely harder to rip and go. So that's why they're currently covered in a basket. So anyways, that's what the baskets are for. They're for flying predators and just to give these plants a fighting chance. Usually I would start these out here. I decided to start them in the greenhouse. They transplanted just fine. I made sure I didn't stick them in with other plants. Usually I do 2 per square, and it was just too much last year. It was way too much food. We couldn't keep up with it. I do have some volunteer sunflowers. That one, this one, those 3, and this one are all volunteers. And they all came off of a volunteer from last year. I'm guessing from birdseed, because there was one that was in here with my asparagus. I don't think my asparagus made it this year. I'm going to have to dig all this grassy stuff up. And then there's 2 more volunteers there. So anyways, we had a volunteer sunflower here last year, and it dropped seeds, and now we have other volunteers. My little 5-year-old helper. He's softening the dirt. And then also, I didn't start as many tomatoes this year as I normally do. So in my tomato bed, I'm putting a couple of loofahs. And I am hoping that they do well. Basically because I ran out of room over here in this bed. And I usually put peas along this little lower grid in between my tomatoes. And so the grid is lower over here for those sweet peas. And as a result, I am able to use it to climb up and over into this, just going the opposite direction of my usual trellis stuff. So, yeah. So as you can see, let me finish my fence tour. Okay, so I swear, kids, man. Okay, so anyways, this is all going along here. I kept it continuous here. This is what that other bracket's supposed to do, a T-post, fence post. Somebody was giving away these gates. I repurposed them. Someone was giving away that chain link. I repurposed it. My friend gave me the T-posts. So I was able to actually get a decent fence this year. And I also blew this out about 8 inches or a foot. Well, at least a foot. It was about a foot closer. So it's nice having that extra space right there. This is how I transport soil. It's nice because it's not tippy. And I also bring plants over. These are the plants I didn't get finished before the sun went down last night. So I'll be grabbing more plants when it cools down. That's the other reason I planted last night and when the sun was going down, is because it wasn't so dang hot, you know? So this is where it's at. Tomatoes will be in this bed. I will probably put sweet peppers on that strip right where his feet are. And then this is typically eggplant. Maybe I'll put sweet peppers here and eggplant here. I don't know. Eggplant and tomatoes, I don't think they're supposed to go in the same bed because they're both after the same nutrients. So this is typically my tomatillo bed. I was thinking about putting my hot peppers back in here. That's typically asparagus. But I saw some babies a while ago and I don't see any new babies. I just see a whole lot of weeds in there. So, and that's an old metal shelf that I took the shelf out of and drilled holes on the bottom with. That is typically corn back there. This is typically tomatoes. Like I said, I don't think I started enough tomatoes to really go after it. So we'll see. I don't know. I just got to see what I have and where it's all going to get laid out. This is usually cucurbits, like summer squashes. Winter squashes stay underneath the shade cloth. Oh, and I have that's a 40% shade cloth for the elevation that we're at. This new shade cloth is not giving me hope. The last one was bad. The one before lasted me like 3 years, and it was amazing, and it was sturdy, and I thought I reordered that one, and it does not seem to be accurate. These are onions from last year. I'm going to cut the seed bulbs off and see what I can do next year. I haven't decided what's going here. Probably sunflowers. I'll try that again. And then, okra. I think okra is going to go in this bed. I have a bunch of okra plants that I'm excited this year. Last year, this was all brand new soil in that bed, and we bought it from the nursery, and I think it was too compacted or something because nothing grew in that bed. It was all brand new soil, and I'm like, what the heck? So hopefully this year's better. This is old soil from my old garden and mixed with the stuff I bought last year. I bought 2 yards, I think, last year. And then this bed has yet to be built. I don't know if it's going to get built this year. I hope it gets built this year. If it doesn't, it's probably going to be okay because I didn't go too crazy because I might be having back surgery here this month. So if I do, whatever I can get in the ground is in the ground, and then after that it's just maintenance. So I'm hoping to get the drip line all attached and ready to go so that I can get it all self-automated so that when I'm recovering I don't have to come out here and water every 2 days. And then also everything's going to get mulched. If you don't know why you mulch, feel free to ask. But basically it's to lock the moisture in and keep it from evaporating from the sun. And also it keeps the temperature lower. This whole garden takes 2 bales of the compressed stuff. I'm going to try and see if I can find the non-compressed stuff this year, because the compressed stuff flies away too easily. And I wasn't happy with it last year or the year before. So that's where it is. That's what's going on. I'll be planting more plants tonight, getting them watered in, and going from there. So that's day 1. Today is, June 5th? So yesterday was June 4th. That's when the plants went in. It's going to be a food forest in about 2 months. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking it out, and see you on the next one.